Welcome to Crush of the Rebellion. So this is our inaugural. We're going to try this out on Roll20 and streaming and all that kind of stuff and see how we go. So I am Ross. I'm the writer of this game, and then with to the bottom on my screen is Brendan Flattery. He worked on the editing and layout of this. And then we also joining us is Matt Evans and Anthony Deuce Franchini. So this is a role-playing game. It's a storytelling game, which means that we are going to be doing a lot of creative exercises with this. But there is a lot of procedure to this game, and there's a lot of strategy to this game. So there are real rules to this, real consequences to things, and this is kind of a challenge as to how you can leverage your storytelling prowess to benefit your character in the game. The premise of this game is that this is takes place far in the future to a universe in which humanity is expansive across all of the known creation. And so we're talking about not just galaxy wide, but universe wide, where we're ruling over entire megastructures of star systems. And it's all united under one hierarchical society, all going and serving the emperor. The emperor is all powerful and extends across all of the domain of the human empire. We players are the Emperor's agents, so we have a fraction of that infinite power, so which is still quite a lot. And we find ourselves in positions of having extreme power and extreme privilege. And this is kind of a game exploring what we do with that power and how we use that to achieve our goals while still working within the confines of this horrible bureaucracy and nightmare vision. So, hey, I'm going to still twiddle with some of these functions here, but why don't we go around and kind of talk about our characters a little bit to vamp and give me a minute. So, Brendan?
Sure. So my character, I'm playing the High Inquisitor. So my goal is to infiltrate and maybe sabotage upcoming or emergent rebellions that are existent within the Empire. My name is Zero. My character wears all black. He has a hooded cowl and a mask that is just a mirror to, point back at the offender and let them wither in their own self-recrimination. I've got sort of black plated armor connected by various hoses and tubes to make subtle pneumatic sounds as I move, and my voice comes out of like a speaker that's hidden within the mask.
Okay, and Anthony?
Yeah, so I'm playing Sorcerer Lord Kais Mao, who I have totally ripped off of a character that is from Star Wars, which is fine. He's an alien. Am I the only? Well, I guess Brendan's also an alien.
Right? Oh yeah, I'm an alien.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have two non-humanoids, which will certainly go over well when we get our heads chopped off later.
Sure.
he is a Thespasian, 4-arm serpentine tail, no legs, and he wears this massive turban that has 6 different skulls incorporated into a large totem. His homeworld is Jagala Jara. It's a pollutant-choked core world. And he is here to, of course, advance the Empire, but also to train a mystic apprentice and violate one of the first and founding sacred imperial edicts, which is there will be no other mystic besides the Emperor himself and his apprentice, which is me. So yeah, so I can't wait to screw everyone over and get the materials and information that I need to train this apprentice. Matt?
Can't hear you, Matt.
Can't hear you, Matt.
Oh, the way around. Always forget that. Hey, hi. So yeah, I am playing codename Sunspot, the Hand of the Emperor. The Emperor's trusted agents who are deployed throughout the galaxy to enact the Emperor's will directly when the Inquisition or a Sorcerer Lord just won't quite cut it.
Impossible.
So, it happens more often than you think. You can't be everywhere at once. And so Sunspot has, through his studies of the Emperor's sacred writings, determined that for the Empire to flourish, the Emperor must die. And so their goal is to assassinate the Emperor. Sunspot dresses in these voluminous red robes and has these different amulets draped off of them in such a manner as a member of one of the Emperor's cults, in particular the Scarlet Cult. They are a human courtier from the unknown regions, a small planetary duchy. In the affairs of courtly politics, they really aren't too high up there as a quantity, which suits them fine, just enough to keep the work going. They mainly operate through proxies, people that they have subverted and used a nanomachine compound to command as they need to when they need to carry out their missions.
Great, and I am going to be playing Grand Admiral Rook. The Grand Admiral has spent a long, illustrious career working for the Empire and has gone to many, many victories. However, something is missing from his heart, and he knows that the true path to personal freedom and happiness means that he needs to do the unthinkable, defy the Emperor, and defect with a massive military force to the Emperor's enemies. He's a human from the mid-rim borderlands, so he's seen a lot of fighting and the destruction and horrors of war all throughout his life. He wears a bright white uniform, a chest of shiny metals, and has a stern face and dichromatic eyes. So one eye is blue, one eye is green. He spent his career. His career is considered a politico, which means he gets a +1 to rolls when he incorporates a move that describes his rise in galactic political power. Cool. And I think that's everything. So, yeah, this is like a real. It's structured as to when things happen in the story, but in terms of creating the world, in terms of world building, that's where this game really flourishes, and where you see a lot of the creativity. So the world building right now, we've talked about some like vaguely Star Warsy kind of things, and that's fine. And we can go any which way in terms of what kind of science fiction we want to explore here. One of the rules, though, is that as soon as someone establishes some sort of like technology or some sort of fact about the universe, that becomes now canon, and we have to use that moving forward. You can't contradict the past. So the game is won by when the first of us, the first player to advance their secret agenda 5 times wins. So, for example, my character's secret agenda is defecting a huge military force to the enemy forces, to the rebel forces. Whereas everyone else has their own different plans. For example, Agent Sunspot is trying to assassinate the Emperor. That's their secret agenda. The way you advance your secret agenda is by having a good store of destiny. We'll get that in a second. Betraying an agent, and then a good roll on the betray an agent move will allow you to advance your agenda. How you get the betray an agent is by getting honors. How you get honors is by surviving a completed mission. So the mission leader is going to go on to there. They're going to assign their agents to do 3 different tasks. They're going to prepare for the mission. They're going to travel to the mission site into the dangerous parts, and then they're going to actually engage the operation and make it happen. The mission leader wants to get agents beat up and roughed up during those things, but they still want to squeak out a narrow victory. That's like the most optimal scenario, because that will give the mission leader the most amount of honors cards, and our rival agents are all these players, the fewest amount. And the reason why, and so there's a thing called destiny. You pick that up by rolling well throughout the game, through the rolls, and also through adhering to prophecy and fulfilling prophecy. Destiny is a resource that you can spend 1 for 1 after you roll the dice to boost up your rolls. So when you betray an agent, it's always nice to have a big stack of them. Okay. Okay. That's kind of the gist of things. That's at least the overall strategy. We all start with one of these honors cards. In Roll20, we're all assigned as GM, so we can all manipulate all the decks and things like that to however we want. I am going to say just for the first mission, since we're kind of like just jumping right into it, I will call myself mission leader. We'll go with that.
Yep.
Okay, Richard.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fine.
it is, but yeah, that's fine.
So in the game flowchart, we have our mission leader, so we will create the mission. I've already pulled out some random mission creations, and we're going to go through it. So here's our assignment. The Emperor is concerned about wasteful local government incompetence located in the horrific Great Void, and normal run-of-the-mill imperial agents can't do this. They're way too incompetent or whatever. The emperor needs to send his top people, that's us, out there because because there's the presence of a sorcerer lord come back from the 3114th intergalactic crusade. So I'm going to describe a little bit about what kind of fill in the blanks here a little bit. So we're being sent out into the vastness of space, into the small uh, or the lightly populated and civilized areas in between galaxies. Great, humongous, mind-boggling expanses of just nothingness out here. And this one star that is broken free of the gravitational pull of any nearby galaxies holds a small civilization on its planet out in the great void, covered in a black nebula of roiling clouds, hidden from most prying eyes. A sorcerer lord has found this hidden planet and has infiltrated its government and the sorcerer lord has used their illegal mystic magical powers to take control of that government and declare themselves the dictator and ruler of that planet in defiance of the emperor's wishes. So he sends us out there to take care of things and make sure that gets fixed to right. So the edict here, that is declared, means that one of the 4 ability scores in Crush the Rebellion is penalized. So whenever you roll it, you have to roll a third die and drop the highest. So because this planet is so far from normal civilization and so far from the supply lines, loyalty has an edict on it right now. Loyalty is the ability score that we use to represent the massive power of the empire and its industrial complex coming to bear. The other 3, yeah, I know, right? The other 3 ability scores are combat, which is hand-to-hand individual combat that we agents are performing. Cunning, which is intelligence, wily, being stealthy, that kind of thing. Infiltration falls under this. And reputation, which is like fear and using your presence to influence events. So then after edict, we go prophecy. So this is going to be Sunspot is going to declare. Oh, so the Emperor is a time prophet and can see forward into the future and the past at the same time. The Emperor spouts out prophecy, and we use this to guide our actions. If your character, you are going to describe a scene about another character. If that other character fulfills prophecy and does that scene, they get 1 destiny. So one of the tricks is to try to put them into fun situations or dangerous situations. Prophecy and the destiny that's associated with it are kind of like bait. You want to bait them into your trap and say, like, "Oh, you really want this destiny, don't you?" But you're gonna have to put yourself into some like nasty situation or just some fun situation and just like make it really cool. So why don't we say then, Sunspot, you are going to give the destiny of High Inquisitor 0. High Inquisitor 0, you will give a prophecy for Sorcerer Lord Mao. And then Sorcerer Lord Mao, you give a prophecy for Sunspot. The mission leader is not part of the prophecy.
Perks of command, I suppose. My fellows, I had a dream. The Emperor came unto me and spoke of prophecy. There was the High Inquisitor Zero, and he lay at the feet of the planetary governor, a mazer pistol at his temple, and he knew not what he would do. Truly, this was a dire circumstance, but the Emperor has spoken it, so surely it must come to pass.
Cool. Okay, so Zero, the vision that he is given from the grace of the Empire of Source Lord Mao, it's a fitting one because I forgot to mention the High Inquisitor's goal and secret mission is to discover an escaped hidden Sorcerer Lord before the Emperor takes him on as a new apprentice. So, Zero's already pretty suspicious of Mao as it is, and this mission is just too perfect. So Zero's given him a vision of Mao actually coming to the aid of the Sorcerer Lord in the Great Horrific Void at some point, and actually helping it, whether secretively or openly.
Oh. The prophecy that was revealed to Lord Mao. Let's see. Sunspot. It's almost fitting because of his name that he would be bright and he would be part of a cult. However, in this prophecy that was revealed to him, which was very cryptic, he saw Mao. It was revealed to Mao that Sunspot was actually floating alone in the Great Void, completely by himself.
Like in space?
In space.
Yeah.
Stuck, falling toward a planet. Just falling and falling and falling.
Awesome.
Whether or not he makes it and survives, unknown.
Now, do any agents have the homeworld of the Horrific Great Void?
So, as an alien, I took Traveler for 3 additional homeworlds, and I took the Great Void.
Oh,
So,
okay, great.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So your species is. But why does your species know all these so many different types of locations within the multiple galaxies?
well, it's not even just my species;
Really,
it's personal, right? So he has so Lord Mao has traveled nearly everywhere and spent he's just forgotten how much time he's actually been alive, and so he spent a decade stuck in the Great Void himself, floating on a dead city ship, and just learning all its capacities, and finally got picked up again, and moved back toward the core world. So he has spent a lot of time there, and he is familiar with its paces and its oddities.
Cool. So we're going to tap into you then. So your character, since you have the homeworld here, gets a +1 to all rolls. And I need you to prepare our agents for this mission. Describe the means and methods you use to gain an unfair advantage against the enemies of the Emperor. Do you gain valuable intelligence, illegal equipment, a notorious non-player ally, or something else entirely? Any agent, furthermore, may use this item or resource to gain +1 on their rolls, but must describe in the fiction how this item benefits the specific situation.
Right. So Mao, because he spent so much time here and spent so much time meditating within the Horrific Void, he has faced its horrors, its many unnamed horrors. So he once they reach a certain point, he is going to sit and he's going to meditate during his preparation, and he's going to put out a psychic signal to some of these unknown terrors, and basically call them to the planet that we are moving toward.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
So, now, how are you doing this? How are you getting this? Is it by your wits and knowledge, or by your imposing presence and illicit personal connections?
Oh, this is totally presence.
Yeah.
This is all mental presence on the psi waves of the universe.
So roll reputation.
Sure.
Tapping into the
And then I got a
galactic
plus.
resonance.
Yep. So my rep is a plus.
One. Oh, okay. Cool.
Ooh.
Yep. So it's an 11 with the +1. So
All right, you gain
success.
it. These things come in, and you
Mhm.
gain a destiny point.
All right.
And then I'm going to go with Inquisitor Zero. Describe why it's so difficult for us to travel here, what hazard is there, and how you. Oh, I think I should probably do that. I'm going to describe a hazard for why it's
Sure.
we can't just stroll right into this. And then you're going to
Okay.
describe how you use your unique wealth, abilities, and personal connections to get us there. So the problem is that this entire star system is concealed in a nebula cloud, and it is not only it extends way beyond the solar system itself. It kind of envelops it like a torus, like a shell,
Mhm.
and it causes issues with hyperdrive engines. So that normally it would take months to be able to get through that cloud just by plowing right through, and we just don't have that time.
Okay. Uh, so my unique abilities, I think, are very suited to this because I have a few careers. I'm a saboteur and as well as an infiltrator. So I'm quite adept at sneaking into places where I'm not wanted, which I believe this planet that has been attempted to stay hidden from the Emperor's gaze for so long involves that. So I think that I'm going to consider the great horrors that the Sorcerer Lord has summoned to this place, and I think that my reputation precedes me, and I'm one of the most feared beings in the galaxy. And so maybe I heard this call from the Sorcerer Lord, and I would like to piggyback on this sort of this all the activity that they're using and all the energy that they're harnessing to go to this place and break through the hyperspace barrier, electromagnetic field.
That sounds awesome. That sounds like you're using your cunning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Plus infiltrator, if I may.
Sure. Yeah, that sounds like an infiltration kind of thing.
Okay, so that gets me to an 8 anyway, which is good. Gotta use that.
So yeah, on a
Yep.
7 to 9, your intelligence sources were faulty. The enemy's on the move and is already relocated, or you have become hopelessly lost. You must suffer a wound and then choose a consequence. So when a
Yep.
agent suffers 3 wounds, they're knocked out of the fight, and they're not killed, but they're hurt, and they have to stop the mission, and they don't gain honors. So
Okay.
do you choose to either travel again or get led into an ambush?
Uh, I am going to get led into an ambush.
All right, cool. So that jumps over to ambush. You're able to get through and land on the planet, but the Sorcerer Lord was anticipating it and catches you by surprise. As you're leading your small cadre of troops and spies and saboteurs off into the planet in a remote location, you find yourself staring across the sandy beaches against the Sorcerer Lord. He pulls out his weapon and strides confidently towards you, the boots crunching against the sand and the waves lapping up against the shore. Talk about the fight.
Okay, so I don't like to fight it. All right. I don't like to take things on, straightforwardly. So I use all the just the chaos and the energy of us all arriving and crashing into this place in a very obvious way, which is what triggered the Sorcerer Lord to find us. And I'm going to attempt to sort of, I guess I want to harness all that energy and use it to just wreck it, just amplify it as much as I can and just create the biggest explosion that I possibly can around the Sorcerer Lord's position.
Cool.
Ooh.
So I have Saboteur as well. It doesn't matter, but yeah, gonna blow shit up.
That sounds logical. That's a sabotage. Yeah.
And I rolled 11 or 12.
Okay, cool. You break through with minimal casualties, gain a destiny.
Sweet.
And then lastly, we're going to have Sunspot perform the actual operation. and describe what powers, equipment, and resources you bring to bear against this problem. How do you stop this sorcerer lord from being the sole dictator, from being the like the local warlord over this backwater planet?
Um, there's a couple ways we could go about this. Mainly, what Sunspot is going to do is he's going to activate some sleeper cells among some of the Turanian pirates that were summoned here by Mao's psychic call, and is going to use them to essentially come in and take the local planetary government and put them to the Vibro Sword, pretty much. And if they can get the Sorcerer Lord, that's great. If they drive him off the planet, that works as well. But mainly it's using fear to get rid of the problem.
That sounds cool. Roll reputation.
Reputation. Oh boy, straight 2d6. Let's go.
Oh,
Great.
Pain.
You don't have any destiny, do you?
This is my first roll of the game. What do you mean,
What?
Destiny?
On this, abort the mission. The mission's a failure, and you are blamed for it. Your homeworld to face the Emperor. Describe the mitigating circumstances for your failure to the deaf ears of the Emperor. So, man, that is not great. So
Oh yeah, that's hilarious.
it's not listed on your character sheet because you can never have that as your career. So whenever you're there, you're always at kind of like a footing. So you face the Emperor and go into.
you fucked.
Yeah. Let me pull up. I got a bunch of like little photos or images here for face. Describe about avoiding a painful death. This move takes place on the Imperial homeworld. Do you play a fan and loyal servant, or do you show defiance and that you're willing to prove that the Emperor is wrong?
It's absolutely sycophancy. Sunspot comes in like sackcloth and ashes. Dearest beloved Emperor, I had no idea that Sorcerer Lords could subvert my nanomachine control. Had I realized this, I would not have used the Turanian pirates in such a way and had them turn on our forces. I would have done an incredibly different series of actions that would have resulted in success and the Sorcerer Lord not retaining his petty fiefdom of our beloved Rogue Star.
All right, describe one feature of the Emperor's palace or the homeworld.
The Emperor's palace, Cyclopean is the best word to describe it. It is just, you can see hallways that stretch for miles and ceilings that sometimes form their own weather systems, which is a little odd.
All right, so the mission is over, so the edict is cleared, and roll loyalty.
Loyalty, that is slightly better.
Okay, well that's way better than 6, I'll tell you that. So on a 9, you're grueling, painful interrogation, and you suffer wounds. So if there were to be honors to be given out, you would have lost them. After the mission is now over, we clear off all of our wounds, and we restart. The first thing.
How many wounds do I suffer? I'm pretty sure I suffer like a substantial amount of wounds.
Yes, and then you are brought to Imperial Medical and given a time to coalesce. Convalesce. Maybe you're coalescing as well. I don't know.
Maybe a little bit.
Heal yourself and be treated of your wounds. The idea of taking wounds from facing the Emperor, because you can face the Emperor at different times, actually. The idea of taking wounds when you face the Emperor here is that this essentially makes it so that you don't gain the honors card if it was to be given out from a successful mission.
Yeah. So in this case, he is still ritually mortified for his failure in this, and will be returning with a new scarification across the other side of his face
Cool.
on the next beat.
Cool. Yeah, that's right. We describe it. Yeah. Whenever you're knocked out like that, you should describe like something, some sort of thing like a scar or something or something permanent that's happened to you. And of course, whenever
True that,
it's
guys.
the Emperor, if you roll a 6 or lower, you run the risk of rolling a 6 or lower, and in which case you're executed. So that's bad. So now we move on and we vote. So we all four of us vote. There's no way to really do this terribly secretly for the next mission leader, and it just can't be me. So when you've got it in your head, let me know. Let us all know, and then we'll just talk it out.
Can we vote for ourselves?
Brendan.
Yes, that.
Okay.
I'm ready. Obviously.
I wasn't gonna say. I know who I'm voting for as well.
Yes. Brendan, you ready?
Yep.
Okay, keep that in mind. So I am going. We already know who you're voting for. So I'm going to vote for. Let's pick up your name again. Oh yes, Sorcerer Lord Mao.
I'm actually voting for Inquisitor Zero as well.
Okay.
I'm voting for
Yep,
Mao.
0.
So where to stand till?
We're on. Okay, so I will
second
roll
round
it
of voting.
on an even. It is Mao.
Okay.
It is even.
It's an even.
All right, that's me.
Cool. So all
right.
of Roll20 are GMs. So go ahead and pick out one card from each of the Emperor's Concerned About, Located, and unique talents. On Roll20.
Yep.
If you need help with that, let me know.
Well, so hold on a second. Deal multiple cards. So deal one card
So
from the deck, or
go to the Emperor's Concerned About, and
yep, there.
deal it out and put it over top of the other one.
Should be able to drag it.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
All right, the Emperor's
Yeah.
And could you put it over top of the other one? Just it'll make my it'll make the broadcast easier.
Yes.
Yeah, there we go.
Of course.
You've got it. Thank you.
Yep.
The last bullet.
I'm grabbing the top the deck instead of the little tiny card. All right, so the Emperor is concerned about ruthless, brutal space pirates located in the industrialized core worlds. Okay, and the reason why we four have been called in as his primary handlers of this is there's a dangerous environmental hazard on a planetary scale. Ooh la la. Okay, great. So, do you want me to name the planet, etc.?
Just fill in. You don't necessarily have to name the planet, but that's always nice.
Okay.
Just give us a little bit of like fluff so that we can role play a little bit better. Just fill in a little bit of the gaps.
Right. So it's actually unclear
and
who the pirates are.
Also, tell us choose an edict, so you can choose any skill.
Oh,
penalized.
Yeah.
And why that is.
No,
why is that skill harder to use?
No, it's gonna be loyalty. I'm taking it random.
You this. Oh, okay.
Cool. So this group of pirates, it's actually not just one group of pirates. It's worldwide. Piracy has become the norm because resources are so short, which is surprising on an industrialized core world because they're so close to everything else and are on all the major trade routes. And the dangerous environmental hazard is actually the planet itself. They dug too deep industrializing this world. They lit the entirety of all gas deposits and the molten core on fire, and it is now bubbling up to the surface through every fault line on the planet.
Okay.
So they've literally the planet is about to just explode itself. And the reason why loyalty is a disadvantage here is people are freaking out. Whole continents are taking sides with the pirates and going back and forth whether it's getting off the planet or
and how did the pirates go into the story here?
Oh well, the pirates are just looting the place and taking all the empire's resources. Yeah. So all of the tech, all of the machineries, all those things that are they're just invaluable. Right. This is a large industrialized planet. So
cool.
right.
Cool.
So now we're going to do prophecy. So I am going to do a prophecy on. We'll be going the other direction on Sunspot. Sunspot will perform a prophecy on High Inquisitor Zero, and Zero will give a prophecy on myself, Grand Admiral Rook. So the prophecy that is relayed to me in the darkness and span between worlds and consciousness is I see Sunspot uh, on a field of fire as the ground is starting to become superheated and molten, and with a blaster in hand, frantically shooting about him in all directions. So Sunspot, if you can put that, if that scene ever happens, either you describe it or someone else describe it, Sunspot gains a destiny.
Oh, bold indeed. I don't know how bold that is. When Sunspot arrived at the briefing, he actually found a data slate, and the data slate contained a prophecy from the Emperor about High Inquisitor Zero again. This prophecy was that Inquisitor Zero would destroy a pirate galleon with his bare hands, actually.
Okay. And through a coded transmission beamed directly into Zero's face visor, he gets his prophecy of Grand Admiral Rourke at the helm of a ship that is a blazing inferno of a ship just barreling down towards the planet's surface. And this big pocket of these gases that were released from the nether regions of this world.
Okay.
Cool.
So then to
next you choose who prepares the mission.
right. So High Inquisitor Zero, prepare us for going into this highly chaotic scene. We need to orderly get all of the resources and important people, etc., off this planet.
Sure. So I think that if they're mistrusting of the Emperor and his forces and everybody, it's just utter chaos reigning, then we need to go in with brute force. And I'm actually going to call on my ally Rourke's armada of ships because I think we need to go in there and guns blazing and just restore order the old-fashioned way.
Sure, but that's not really preparing. So preparing is like getting. Oh, so preparing would be like getting the ships available.
Yeah, basically, we got to assemble.
So how do you?
Everything.
So then, how do you get those ships? Do you use your cunning or your reputation?
Yeah, I think I'm probably using my cunning to hack into the communication systems of all those ships and start sending them towards our position.
Okay, great. So that roll.
All right.
Okay. Oh, and also this is my home world, so but it doesn't matter. So that's a 12.
Right, so that goes off without a hitch, right? So you hack all these ships, you bring them into our armada, they all warp in right next to us as we get there, right? So we show up with force. Wonderful.
All super confused.
The ships, we get the +1 going forward.
If we eat the ships, we get +1. Yep.
Yeah. So from that point of view, right? So we still need to travel, right? And so in this case, travel is getting from really from our location, but to use our connections to get everything done here, right? So like we're outside the planet, we're coming into orbit. We still need to get down there and actually travel around the planet and put order back in place. Right.
Well, and I think because travel, like the planet is like on fire.
Right. Also, it's hard to travel. Right. It's hard to coordinate between getting through cities, getting even through the atmosphere, right? Because it's just filling with sulfur and fucking with ships. So, to that point, let's have the Emperor's Hand take that.
Very well. For getting to and down to the planet, my recommendation would be using pilots to calculate precise hyperspace drops to get us right in orbit of the planet so that our dropships can drop in with pinpoint accuracy, avoiding any potentially hazardous gas pockets. So moving with cunning.
Okay.
And since we're using our purpose taken ships, I'll have a little bit of extra on this. And a 10 sounds good.
All right, great. All right. So in that case, then, Grand Admiral Rourke, see this through.
So
We have
I'm happy.
everything in place. So
You don't have. You can double up on people if you want.
I know.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is all these ships are at our disposal, and all of this is happening. So using the chaos of the, using our intelligence from this infiltration, I'm going to take one fighter, break off from the rest of the main fleet, and use that to expertly navigate and like through the lower atmosphere and like dodging and weaving in and out of from the avoiding the blasts of superheated gas that are erupting from the planet. And I'm scanning for the leader of the pirate clans, and I have it targeted, and I just and like I pull the fighter up into space, pull back down, and come hurtling down from space into the planetary atmosphere, guns blazing, and just shooting them down like that. So I'm thinking that's more of like a cunning kind of thing because I'm using, I'm like stealthing up on this guy. Sound good?
Yeah, I'd buy that.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
All right, so this +1. So I got a 9.
Okay, I'm going to play an honors card. I don't know how to do that, but when an agent rolls 7 to 9 on cutting, betray an agent.
Yep, that's me.
Yep.
So this, I've already suffered 1 wound from this.
Mm-hmm.
So now I roll.
Can you put the card out so that we can see it?
You can't see it there?
Could you just put it over like industrial core words so the audience? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah,
There we go.
thank you.
Got it. All right.
Okay, so betray an agent is a move. So you describe how you threaten or ignore the goals of the Emperor in order to further your own selfish needs. Choose another agent to betray. That's me, and roll the dice. So you just roll flat.
Yep. So I rolled 7. So I think that this is an opportune time to show how, in your absence from the day-to-day management of this armada thing, agents have sort of started to act on their own will and have started to feel more ambitious and figure out that they can start advancing their own careers in the expense of yours. And some of them actually just defect and go pirate, and others, it just becomes total chaos. And the armada just falls apart around you.
Not through any of your prompting, though, I'm sure, Inquisitor.
Oh, no, not at all.
Okay, cool. And so this betrayal was successful, but predictable. So while you were doing that, I also planted a small explosive charge underneath your chair and blew it up, burning your flesh. So you take a wound. We both take.
I take a wound.
But you are able to advance your secret agenda, and we'll put a pin on that right now because Sorcerer Lord Mal, you are also able to advance your agenda. You've been able to successfully complete the mission that you are under charge of. The operation is complete, but something went terribly wrong. I suffer a wound for this. I've already knocked it down. The mission leader may advance their secret agenda. If the operation is complete, so this is exactly where you want it to be, the 7 to 9 range.
Yes.
10 and higher is like too good. So because it worked, the Emperor is pleased. But because there was a little bit of muddiness, because there was a little bit of chaos that happened, it was not flawless by any stretch. You were able to use, chaos is a ladder. You were able to use the scenario the situation to be able to step up that ladder. So you both advanced, which is nice. And then the operation was complete. The mission is a success, Each agent that has not been knocked out, that's all of us, including the mission leader, draws an honors card. So then we start.
Cool.
Yep. How do you want to handle the honors
Everyone
cards?
deal 1 to yourself.
Is there a way to put it somewhere where anyone else can see it?
You can't.
If you deal it to yourself, it should go to your hand.
And if we click on it, we'll figure it out. But just
Yeah, just deal 1 to yourself.
on someone else's cards.
Okay.
Oh, I hit the wrong one.
So I also get a new special ability because of the honors card I played. Okay.
Yeah, that's the immediate sweet bonus you get from playing the honors cards, and then the betrayal is kind of the chance you take with it.
Yeah.
There we go. And so both of you, why don't we start with the High Inquisitor. Tell us about the first step of your secret agenda that you've just completed.
Sure. So step 1 in my path to discover this hidden sorcerer lord before the Emperor does is to find an Imperial citizen that is suspected of being a sorcerer lord. And I'm assuming execute them or just make an example of this poor. He was probably just some lowly officer on one of these decks that I just needed to, restore some order, make it look like I was, acting in the best interest of everyone, and pronounce the summary judgment that I am privy to in my role. And so now I also need to describe who else opposes the Emperor acting from within the human empire. So I believe that there is somebody very close to the Emperor and within his inner circle. Maybe not somebody on this mission, but I think that somebody who's acting in his name is a secret sleeper agent from within his inner council.
Nice. And so my secret agenda. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. No,
good.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say I'm gaining the blood sorcery ability, so I can, before rolling dice during a move, I may suffer 2 wounds to instead roll 3 dice and discard the lowest single die result.
All right, smart. So the first step in my secret agenda was to find an Imperial citizen born with the gift of sorcery to be my apprentice, which is funny because obviously the High Inquisitor is inquisiting the wrong people because I secret away not 1, not 2, but triplets who I think one of them is my going to be my apprentice.
Right, the classic Skywalker triplets.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, why not? Also, I have to answer I need an N of 3 just to make sure that I get it right.
Right.
Because it might fail with one of them. Or they might fail me. I'm not going to fail. What limited resource is extremely valuable and fought over throughout the human empire? And so this is a substance called conantokin, which is actually secreted by the brain right before you fall asleep in minuscule amounts. And this is what the sorcerer lords use to enhance their ability to see time and influence everything.
Cool.
And so this resource is what the Emperor doesn't want other people getting a hold of, because then more people will become sorcerer lords.
Sure. That's cool. That sounds cool. Okay, cool. So now completed mission and we vote. So now you guys are starting to get the feel for like what kind of power the mission leader really has. So that's becoming more interesting. Okay. So I've got mine in mind.
Me too.
Sure. Ready?
Okay, I vote for Sunspot.
Me too.
I vote for Brendan. So I vote for 0.
Okay.
So Sunspot it is.
Okay. Well, hey, at least I don't have to do anything.
Well, yeah.
So
yeah.
Well, I guess I have to do something.
You're in the hot seat now.
Oh, it'll be fine. This will be fine. Promise.
Better not suck.
So the Emperor is concerned about organized crime and rampant smuggling of illegal substances. Oh, this is so perfect. I love it. It is located in the Savage Outer Rim. Oh boy. This
From there.
And ish. Your unique talents are called to this matter due to the important hostages who are connected to the mission leader. Oh no! Oh, this is unfortunate.
Who are these
So,
hostages and why do they know you?
oh well, I know a lot of people. It's just a part of the job. The important thing is they are people who directly know me and my position there. I wouldn't say handlers, but they are operatives who operate in similar circles, and so that's how they know me. So I can't let my identity fall into the hands of the astral yakuza, who are smuggling actually Conan Tucan, whose very possession is punishable by death in the Empire because of the Emperor's jealous guarding of
Sorry, these hostages are like your disciples?
it. Like I said, not disciples, more like contemporaries. They're other imperial hands.
Oh, okay.
Fingers.
Knuckles.
There you go. Yeah, more fingers and knuckles. There we go. And they were attempting to track down this substance when they were captured by the astral yakuza, and so they are currently being held on the market planet of Errant 7 in the Outer Rim. It's one of those places where they say you can find anything.
All right.
And it turns out you can.
What skill is penalized because of the circumstances?
In this case, because it is in the Savage Outer Rim, in a place where the Empire doesn't maybe hold as much sway as it should, one's reputation is no good here. So coming to that, Sorcerer Lord Mao, prepare the way.
So we need to do prophecy first.
Oh, you're
Yep.
right.
Yep. So I'm going to do. So we'll be going the counterclockwise from what I'm seeing. So I will do the prophecy on High Inquisitor 0, and then from there to Mao, and then from Mao to me, Rourke. So Inquisitor 0, my prophecy of yours is that you are going in your armor blackens like night, and then and then at midnight in the cover of shadows, you crawl around on by yourself on the surface of the planet to invisibly sneak in, grab a hold of the hostages, and then pop back out of their holding cell without anyone seeing them whatsoever.
Okay. Zero has a vision of the Sorcerer Lord Mao ignoring the pleas of the hostages for help as he goes instead for the substance and takes it at great risk to himself, for it is poison and has a potential to hurt him instead of helping him.
Sure. And then I see a prophecy of Rourke actually as one of the hostages. Stuck right there.
Yeah. Oh, hey, so last mission, I think my prophecy was like I need to take a ship and dive into the planet.
Yeah, you earned that destiny.
Yeah,
Take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's me.
All right, so who's preparing for this?
As
I am.
Sorcerer Mao, prepare the way.
All right, so I am used to traveling through the Savage Outer Rim, as I spent many years on the planet Na'azer, which is a fire planet nearby, hardening my skin to that terrible savage environment. So to prepare us, I am actually going to use my illicit connections, because I have always been on the lookout for more Conan Token. So I'm going to use my illicit connections to get us in, like find out where the hostages are, how many there are, all those sorts of things. So I guess to do that, I'm going to so mostly I feel like that's what am I missing prepare? I'm going to attempt to use the cunning for that.
So I'm sorry. So what resource are we getting potentially from this?
Sorry. The resort is a notorious ally. So gangsters who oppose this other organized mob.
Rival gang.
Yeah. So rival. We're gonna go rival gang, and they know the risk. They know the turf. You know, they have the whole setup. We're probably going to get into a Varnesian standoff. It'll be great.
Cool.
So yeah, I'm going to roll cunning on that to try to manipulate them into helping us get there. And so I get a 7.
Okay. I just wanted to declare I'm going to play an honest card. I'm going to let you figure this out, but I'm going to play one too.
2, come on.
This guy?
Yeah, of course. Always this guy.
7 to 9 on cunning, right? Okay, so we're able to get the rival gangsters to help us, but then you need to choose. Does the strike team continue late and under duress? You know, like we take too much time dealing with these gangsters, in which case another edict crops up, or do our enemies strike us in our moment of weakness while we're gathering our wits? And
Right.
mission leader chooses an agent to lead the way out of an ambush.
I'm going to say that the strike team continues late and under duress, and this actually makes combat a lot harder moving forward.
Okay, so combat and what was the other one?
Reputation.
Reputation. Thank you.
Reputation.
Yep.
Yep.
Write that down.
I got you.
Thanks. Okay.
All right. So my honest card, which I'm trying. I don't know how to play. It's discard this card to betray an agent when that agent makes a move and does not mention their raiment or features. If you do so, gain a +1 bonus to a skill of my choice. And I'm going to choose cunning, everyone's favorite. And I must then tell when I place my faith in the supernatural. So as an denizen of the industrialized core worlds, Zero is he knows very well the inner workings of a lot of the computer systems and communications networks that and all the massive supercomputers that power the day-to-day life of the Empire, and that is the supernatural for Zero. It is the intelligence that exists within all the interconnected systems and databases and everything else that flow through the Empire. So as a young person or agent of the Empire, that's when he discovered that that's where the Empire was bigger than just the common person within.
Cool.
Gotcha.
So you're going to betray an agent, right?
Yep.
So
I roll an 8.
Or ignore the goals of the Emperor to further your own selfish needs.
Yeah. So I'm betraying Mao. So I decide that my mission is more important than this mission that the Empire has declared, and I need to make it public that I know that I suspect that he's hiding some people who may or may not be sorcerer lords. So I just start to send that information out back to the channels home.
Great.
Rather than doing my job during this mission. And I
Okay.
rolled an 8.
All right.
So again, take a wound to advance my profile, and you
Yep.
take a wound as well.
So describe how this betrayal backfires and both of you are hurt.
Right. So so we were trying to get access to this planet using the connections in the unorganized crime world, and I was supposed to be in a certain place and meeting a certain person and making sure that we were all cool and we were going to do this stuff. And then I decided that it was more important for me to undercut Mao, and I missed the meeting, and that harmed our chances of success here.
How did it actually hurt you? Caused a wound. So you got
That was a
like,
wound.
did somebody like ambush you or shoot you or something? Or
Yeah, so I just pissed off this guy to the point where he decided that I was a liability, and I was going to blow his cover, and that he needed to do something about that. It shot me.
All right. Well, since you were so diligent in transmitting information, perhaps you can use that information to get us to Errant 7 in a timely manner, Inquisitor.
Okay. So part of so what are the edicts? Reputation and combat? Okay.
Mhm.
So I was able to. I'm going to try to again hack into the information systems and figure out what shipments of necessary materials to this outer world planet that has very scarce resources are going in, and try to see if we can get ourselves on board just a regular freighter and get smuggled in the old-fashioned way, Han Solo style, in a cargo hold. So I'm going to try to use my infiltrator and my cunning for that.
Okay.
So that's a 9. So I must just, my intelligence resources are faulty. The enemy has already moved or relocated, or we become hopelessly lost. So,
And you do suffer a wound on this. So that's your second.
Yep.
Yep.
That's my second wound, yep. All right. I'm going to say that we suffer an ambush,
All right.
which the mission leader gets to choose.
That's brutal because combat's has an edict on it. Mission
that's true.
leader,
Yep.
choose an agent to lead our way out of the ambush as we open up these hidden cargo doors that we're smuggling ourselves into, and then there's trouble.
Let's see. Oh, there's so many choices here. Lord Mao, get us out of this mess, shall you?
Oh, that's fine. That's totally cool.
Cool. Edict means you roll 3 dice and drop the highest.
Yep. Hold on. Let me just.
Tell us how you
I didn't
fight
place that
your
into.
way out. Principally leading the assault with your bare hands and and any weapons you have on you. You roll.
I have 4 hands, so it's
Yeah.
fine. This is 4 hands and 4 claws. So doors open. Suddenly we're under fire. I go within myself, pull out that sorcery. The 6 skulls on my turban all activate, and they flood out as ethereal monsters, slashing everything around. And so I lead them into combat, almost like I've summoned an extra force to balance this out, and we just start slaughtering them literally with our claws.
Sounds good.
Or attempting to slaughter them. So I'm just going to roll 3d6 here. My combat is +1, so we'll do it that. And then, yeah, I also took technician as my career, so it's not really an unstoppable military force. So maybe that's should have probably gone bigger with it, but whatever. So lowest is an 11 + 1. So yeah, we rock this, and we just slaughter everything in this ambush. No problems.
Hey,
Yay, Destiny.
Wow. Okay.
So yeah, that's fine, mission leader. We're good. Let's get back to this.
Perfectly fine. Grand Admiral, I'll leave the operation to you.
Cool. So after the slaughter, I use this opportunity and I rub the dirt in my face and I tear up some of my uniform, or I tear. Oh, I don't have my uniform. I swap out and go and take the torn and battered clothes of some of what looks like the hostages, and we play a little get the prison, fake the prisoner into the jail cell kind of game. And they walk me in, and I find a way to use my cunning to sneak in and work myself in and pass as one of the prisoners while I'm there tied up with ropes with ropes, my hands behind my back. I'm looking around, and I'm able to untie everything and place a small electronic device onto the wall, which sends out a signal tapping into Zero, allowing Zero, the High Inquisitor, to crawl across the ground on the blackened midnight, coming into and able to use a blowtorch to cut into this steel container that we're all hidden into, and then he's able to extract us all out. So I get a destiny, you get a destiny, we all get destiny. There we go.
You get a destiny.
So the reason why I gave you a destiny, Brendan, is because your prophecy was fulfilled, and you have fulfilled the prophecy. So I get to betray you.
Ah.
Yep, and that gives me a +1. I'm going to put it into combat, actually, just to kind of balance that out. I'm worried about that. And here we go. And I put duty before love. The Grand Admiral has never had time for family and has always regretted that because he's committed everything to his career. And at night, he goes over to his bedside table and looks at a photo of his school age sweetheart and cries a little bit, thinking about the life he could have had. Anyway, I'm going to betray you.
How tragic. And how are you betraying the High Inquisitor in this situation?
Great question. What do I need? So I need to. So the first step in my betrayal is to research and download encrypted troop movements and other military plans. So while we're sneaking out across the blackened surface of this planet, I take a stun. I have like a small stun pistol in my boot, and I use that to shoot High Inquisitor while he's like leading the hostages away. And then I open up his cranium and start hacking into the electronics in his skull to download troop movements and other military plans. And that also will let me know what forces out in the universe that will be able to potentially rival and threaten the human empire. So let's see if I get that far, because I gotta just roll the dice to betray an agent. 7. Okay, I'll take it.
Oh.
I advance. I think that knocks you out.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry, did you roll your operation by any chance?
Not yet. He hasn't
Okay.
rolled his operation.
One
Okay.
step at a time.
Curious.
So I do advance. So that does tell me about a secret force of. We'll come back to what the force in the universe is. Let me roll my operation, which is what I just described already, using cunning. So that's a +1 for me. 6, and I'm going to spend destiny. I'm going to spend destiny to get it to 7.
All right, I'll take that sweet, sweet 7.
Yeah.
That means, doesn't everybody suffer a wound on that as well?
Uh,
No,
No,
he suffers a wound.
So I've suffered 2 so far.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
There's always the chance that he gets knocked out.
Yeah, one from the
Yeah.
betrayal,
Trying to complete the
one from-
mission. And
Yeah, one from me betraying Inquisitor Zero, and then one from this. And
Okay.
then mission leader, you get to advance your agenda. So tell us about that.
I will happily. Give me 1 second here. Yes. So the first thing I need to do is research the Emperor's daily routines to discover when he is vulnerable. Describe his vulnerability. The Emperor is, if nothing else, a creature of extreme habit. And so what happens is every day at sunrise, he actually goes to the very peak of the Imperial Palace to greet the sun of the Imperial homeworld. And so at that point, no guards, no courtiers, nobody else is allowed at the peak of the palace when he goes to do this. This is his ritual and his alone. and that's when I can get him.
Cool. And then so the mission is a success. We've rescued the hostages, snuck out, and so that means everyone but who survives it draws a honors card for themselves.
Honors card. Yep.
Give me them honors, boy.
All right, I'm gonna pop off for a quick second, okay, guys?
Cool.
Just break. Pause this thing. I don't know how I'm supposed to do it.
All right, I'm gonna grab a water. I'll be right back.
Where is it? Oh, that's where it is. Hooray, honors.
You gotta start using those.
I would love to if people actually fulfilled the conditions of my honors.
Yeah.
I'm trying. I try.
It'll happen.
I know. It'll just be like a 50 honors pile up. It'll be great.
Yeah, it tends to just pile up a lot.
Yeah, I've seen it a couple times. So, meanwhile, you're sitting here, betrayal. Oh, I got betrayed. I still get to advance. Speaking of, actually, if we're still hot, we can have you cover that while we're taking care of this.
What's up?
What's up?
See, yeah, we're still live. So,
Yeah.
You also got to advance you have that third advance you get from Ross's betrayal, because you rolled that.
Who are you talking to?
You rolled that. Brendan, 0.
No.
He gets.
Do
Don't you
I?
both get to?
No,
Is it both advance? No.
no, it's
Oh,
just one.
crazy. Okay.
Yeah. Duke got
Gosh.
to advance last time because he fulfilled the mission.
You got advanced
Oh, that's
mission leader, and on a 7 to 9. And
right.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
mission leader and all surviving agents got another honors.
Right. No, it's sorry.
No problem.
Something got conflated in my head there when I was following it. So
Oh, good.
making sure I'm covering everything consistently on my end. Right. So we got that there. Let's clear some cards off.
I guess we could vote and let Deuce break any ties that come up
Yeah, that sounds fine.
if we wanted.
Yeah, let's
Alright.
go ahead and do that.
I'm ready.
While we're on top of it.
Me too.
Okay. Yeah.
Brendan, you okay?
I'm voting for me.
You're
yeah.
voting what?
I'm voting for me.
Yeah, I vote for me.
I vote for 0, so we'll see what.
Okay.
All right, I'm back. Sorry, who did everyone vote for?
We're not going to say yet. You need to
Okay.
decide.
Just vote. Yeah.
And it can't be.
I'm gonna vote for myself.
Okay, cool.
Brendan gets
Go
it.
0.
All right. Cool.
Let's see.
So do I just drag these out?
Oh yeah. Just pull
Yeah.
out. Let your
Just check them
missions.
out.
That's not. Bingo. The Emperor is concerned about a well-armed cult of mystic heretics fitting, located in the Forbidden Deep Core, which is at the bottom for some reason.
You can bring it to front.
There we go. It's all good. Your unique talents have been called in for this because the mission is a test of your abilities designed by the Emperor
What a
himself.
dick.
So there's been a lot of activity around sorcerer lords lately, and the Emperor is, of course, not entirely unaware of this. We're doing our best to keep things secret from him, but he knows. And so he's planted this this armored force of guerrilla fighters in his own realm within the deep core where he controls everything, where effectively his presence is just the dominating factor of the deep core. And they are there as a test of our own mettle and our own might and our own loyalty. And he just wants us to go in and take them down. And that's it. They're not threatening anybody else. Nobody else even knows or cares about this. This is all for us.
This is cool.
Even better because they deserve to die then.
What's the
They're not threatening anybody? What the heck, man? What the heck? I don't like this.
All right. So, and I'm going to choose... I mean, if it's matters related to mystic heretics, I need the edict first. So I'm going to say
Yes.
that because our loyalty is being so called in question, that loyalty is an edict here.
Sure.
And
Prophecies.
Mal, please prepare.
So prophecies.
We go to prophecy.
Prophecy, yeah.
We're going clockwise now for this
Yeah,
one.
so I don't know if you guys can actually see the order of where the videos are. So if we're going to go, this would be Mal does prophecy for me, for Rourke. Rourke will do a prophecy for Sunspot, and then Sunspot to Mal.
Sure.
Yep.
Well-armed mystic heretics. I was handed a tablet that was a prophecy, but the prophecy in the form of an intelligence briefing. And that intelligence briefing said that Grand Admiral Rourke was actually selling Imperial weapons to these heretics, and he knew about it.
Yeah, well, likely.
But that's hard because then he's a double agent. Anyway, that's what I'll go with.
Great. My prophecy. I rolled 2d5 before. Anyway, I see a vision of.
You did.
So might still be alive.
It's fine. I see a vision of Sunspot walking into the arena. The blackened, volcanic rock, form like Stonehenge all around him as he locks eyes with a group of heretics. They trembling hands, they shaking, are bringing up a weapon to train on him or on it, and then Sunspot pulls back their hood and reveals bright flash of green eyes, and that alone just sends bolts of fear down the heretics' spines, and they drop their weapons and run.
Sunspot, when he woke up this morning, turned over and saw that his digital display was replaced, not with the Imperial proverbs that he usually sees, but a prophecy from the Emperor. And in this, Lord Mao is described as being confronted by the leaders of these mystic heretics and being told he must lead their force or die.
Okay.
Okay, great. So now, how will we get? What advantage are you trying to gain to get the mission underway?
As I prepare.
Yeah.
Finding this out, realizing these are mystic heretics, Mao actually attempts to, or not attempts. Mao reaches out directly to the heretics. Right. He shows up on a screen, his face, his totem, all his resplendency, his eyes burning with that sorceress force to impress them. He then offers to lead them because what he wants is information directly. He wants to basically lie to them, get them to think he's working for them and he's sympathetic to their cause. And he is going to then use that information, that valuable information, to use this later on to destroy them all. Sound good?
Yeah.
So to do this, I actually wanted to use my imposing presence or reputation for this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Mainly because I have a +1 to that. So boom. So 11.
All right.
Straight up.
Excellent. I think this is a perfect time to betray you.
That's fine. So I don't care. I don't care about being betrayed. So, question. So,
Good.
does this fulfill the prophecy because now they're leading me? Or they believe that I'm leading them?
You know what? I'll give it to you just for the sheer brass of saying I'm the captain now.
Yeah, fuck yeah. So that's what, a point of destiny?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
However, for that
sweet.
point of destiny, you're being betrayed because you are oppressing those too weak to defend themselves.
I don't care about that.
Oh, you'll
They should
care
get stronger.
eventually.
They should hashtag be better, okay?
Well, they might under your leadership, but for now, I'm going to go ahead and take a +1 to my reputation as it
Sure.
grows, and then let's see. How do I betray you in this case? I think I'm actually going to take a recording of that mission or that transmission and cast it over to the Emperor and go, see, look what he's doing.
Sure. Roll a 2, man.
Okay, come on, baby. Good enough.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, so that is your treachery was successful but predictable. So you get to advance. Tell us about that. And you both suffer a wound.
Yep, wound taken.
Yeah. How was this predicted here, Orknow?
Well, of course, one of my enemies would see this as would try to spin this, right? As just a straight up political move, right? Oh yeah, he's totally working for them. He's sympathetic to their cause. We all know that I'm loyal to the Emperor. We all know this was an attempt to just get them talking and get their signal numbers, line up where they were, all that other stuff. So yeah, of course you were going to do this. Whatever. But that doesn't mean that I don't expect this. And when you download the file, it doesn't go into your systems and just explode out like a electronical burst when you like load it up, right?
Yeah, I imagine it like being like I go to load the transmission to kind of just give it a quick view before I send it over, and like the monitor explodes.
Exactly.
Patches being a quick burn
with sorceress energy, because
oh yeah,
you deserve to be burned.
I do make sure afterwards to like basically have some lowly lackey just go completely ham on you one day and attempt to shiv you, and you probably just dispatch them very easily before they inflict a quick wound on you.
Everyone gets a cut, man. That's fine. You can cut me once, and then you die.
Pretty much. Seems about right.
All right. Everybody's good?
Mm-hmm.
And moving on to training.
Yeah. So how are we getting there? Let's go with Rourke.
All right. What's the danger or difficulty
Right.
traveling to this location?
Yes. So the Forbidden Deep Core is forbidden for lots of reasons, but not least is that it's incredibly unsafe for anyone who is not
I got it. Yeah.
who's not tapped into the Emperor's sort of mystic energy that sort of connects him and his followers together. So if you're not permitted to go there, it is a very deadly place to go.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I go on to this is okay. I get this. I go onto the bridge of the flagship of the Imperial Armada, and we go into major attack formation, and we just with immense amount of particle weapons and guns blazing, we just literally blast this energy into pieces using the immense power of 10,000 superstar destroyers. And it is a vulgar display of power. So we're going to do reputation. Haha! The Imperial fleet is incredibly successful with this. This is an expenditure of military resources on a scale that's previously unimaginable. all to do a test. Bombs and proton torpedoes fill the night sky and work and detonate out with the light of 1,000 suns. And with that, I gain destiny.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
And Sunspot, yeah, let's go with you. How do you succeed and finish the job and destroy this well-armed cult?
You know what? This might be the time to go down and assert myself for once. What will happen is I will take an army of my puppets and pawns with me down to the planet and go to the headquarters of this heretical cult. It appears like they've raised up some black liths in service to whatever terrible star god they think is mightier than the emperor, and I will approach them. And they might mock me. They might say, you're nothing. You're behind. You're hiding behind things as you usually do. And that's when I take off my hood and reveal that no, I have come to deal with them myself, and that should be cause for fear indeed. And use my reputation.
Okay, so you're just trying to cow them into submission.
Indeed. And I believe that should also fulfill a prophecy for me.
Does.
Mm-hmm.
Hey. So I'll just go ahead and take that sweet destiny now before things really go to shit. And roll them. Yeah, we're going to spend those 2 destiny I have right now to get that back up to a 7 so this doesn't go sideways on us.
Cool. So I'm just right there.
All
That's
right.
a 7 and 9 on reputation, so I am going to betray an agent. I'll pull it out just a second. While you are using your fear and intimidation to cow down the heretics, I am using that opportunity and that distraction, thank you, to meet up with a heretic that I had already contacted. Because, by the way, I've been selling weapons to these heretics for years. Was that my destiny? Was that all I needed? Was that my prophecy?
Yes, that was
That
it.
counts.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So
Oh,
I'm going to
this is
betray an agent and just roll the dice as I'm setting you up. Oh, and then I'm going to, yeah, I'll spend that destiny I just got to make that a 9. You'll take 2. I won't take
Yeah,
anything, and I'll
puts me out of the
advance.
mission.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Oh,
So I
well played, you magnificent bastard.
am gathering support from like-minded Imperial military officers and asking what pushed them over the edge. I'm in this darkened cave, miles underneath the surface, the thick stone of this planet being able to block all Imperial sensor readings, and over that table of obsidian, negotiating with them how we are going to be able to pool our resources together to pull off this amazing betrayal and defection. And what pushed them over the edge was that they had spent their entire lives training to be the best fighters could be possibly in the empire, and then they were reduced to this terrible outpost of just years of boredom and nothingness, only to be tested by we Imperial agents. And the reason was because these heretics are of an alien species, of a lizard-like, like bipedal lizards. They have that.
Useless.
Yeah.
So I expect what happens is rather than be completely cowed and intimidated by me, they just gang beat me. It's a terrible bloody fight, which my pawns managed to barely get me away from before I breathe my last.
Yeah.
And I'll be back with a new augmentic exoskeleton next time, kids.
So I gain a new special ability, pull rank, gain +1 to betray and agent rolls.
Great.
Nice.
So during all of this time, as you guys are sorting out your, interpersonal conflict and such, I'm still like just behind the scenes trying to figure out more information about the Sorcerer Lord as I advance on down my path, because he rolled a 7 to 9, and I discover some weaknesses that haunt the exiled Sorcerer Lord, and those are of fear. His mission was to try to use this opportunity to further win over one of us and get closer to the Emperor, and it failed miserably. And now they are being forced to retreat in fear. And so Rourke and Mal also get honors cards as well as me now, right?
That's your third, right? Advancement.
Yeah, that's 3. Yeah.
And in the meantime, while I was recuperating in the biovats on the Imperial homeworld after this, I managed to befriend a royal guard, basically showing her the scriptures and prophecies that I had been researching, and managed to convince her of my cause. The Emperor must die for the good of the Empire, and so she will assist me in this endeavor in my advancements.
Cool. Cool. And Mal, did you get your honors?
Yep, grabbed it.
Completed mission? Yeah.
Yep, I got 3 right now, and I gotta say, I seem to get the ones where no one is either rolling or doing the thing that's calling for it. So, good job, assholes.
So
You gotta make it happen.
like I did, because I was like,
No, I know.
I'm going to give you this prophecy about how you're using your reputation to finish the mission, and that's exactly.
Yeah.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm baiting my time.
Yeah. No, you got it. You can come out of nowhere and steal this. Cool. So great job. That was a completed mission, and now we vote. I've got it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I vote.
Yeah.
I vote for.
I'm
Mal.
ready.
I vote for Mal. Can't hear you, Matt.
Can't hear Matt, but it sounds like he votes.
Whoop, sorry. Yeah,
Look
Mal.
like Mal.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
All right. What's up?
I'm voting for myself. That's fine.
This isn't ominous at all.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. It's good. You shouldn't worry about that. However, I am going to betray Inquisitor Zero right now because he voted for me.
Nice.
So yes. So we are before we even walk into the briefing for the next mission, I betray him, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take I'm going to have implanted a virus into his morning into a morning email, and he was silly enough to open it because it was from me, but he doesn't, or through me, my channels, and so I'm going to increase my own cunning with that. So now my cunning is a +1, which is useful. Yeah. So then I have to roll to betray the agent, right?
Yeah.
So, and this is just a straight roll because I'm not like.
Nice.
At 2d6 straight up.
Yep. Okay. I was just making sure. 2d. All right. Fuck. This is okay. This is fine. Because I have so much destiny built up. I'm going to spend one of them and bring that up to a 7, so that we both suffer a wound. So I don't care if this backfires on me, but I'm going to advance my agenda, which we can get to in a second. And yeah, B, tell us how this backfires on me.
Well, it exposes you even more. I'm looking for sorcerer lords who are hiding, and I just become even more clear that that you think that I'm a threat, and that the attention that you're putting back on me just confirms my suspicions that you're hiding something.
Cool. Hey, sorcerer lord Mal, what's your career?
Tactician.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to betray you.
What? Why even have missions when we could just sit here stabbing each other in the back?
Betray an agent, when that agent makes a move, such as betray an agent, that
Mhm.
doesn't incorporate any of their careers. That'll like combat
Ah.
one.
Nice.
And then I must reveal a dark secret about yourself. Ooh, okay. So
Okay.
the dark secret
I have
about
to.
Hmm?
I have to advance my mission too. So let's not forget that.
Yeah, you're right. Oh,
Do yours.
advance your agenda? Why don't we talk about your advanced agenda then? Why don't we just get that?
Yeah.
Right.
No. Well, no. Okay. So I have to obtain advanced necessary materials for my apprentices to craft their own sorcerer blade, a sacred tradition, and also punishable by immediate nukage by the emperor and his forces. So that's it's actually crystallized Conanican, and then it's incorporated into their blade. And what are they, and how is it so difficult to obtain? You actually have to slaughter 100,000 people to get enough of this chemical to crystallize it, and you have to do that by flash freezing them. So my apprentices were set out to collect that many people, that many souls on a planet, and kill them, and then harvest that that chemical.
Brutal.
Forging a soul blade is not a light undertaking.
It is not. Anyway, so now I'm at 2. So Ross,
Yep.
boot me in the back.
Let me see how this goes. 5, and then
Yeah,
my 2 destiny that I have. I'll bring it up to a 7.
okay.
So you take a wound, and I take a wound.
Yeah. Yep, I'm at 2 wounds right now already. So
All right, cool.
gotta play this one tight.
This
Our
mission is not good.
full of supporters and supplies to defect with you. What is the Emperor's most powerful military asset? So I actually hacked into your email that you're using to betray, and I'm using that as like cover to put in like a virus to infiltrate all of your own computer assets, and like that the
Okay.
wound itself isn't physical, but it brings down heat and suspicion from like internal affairs, and now like they're tracing both of us, and they know like we're both up to no good, but the reason why they think you're up to no good is because I did that to you.
Yes.
So
This is why I also needed to change my password.
that virus is installing a backdoor communications channel so that I can get in touch and coordinate with all of these different starship captains.
Got it.
I keep telling you not to make it Emperor Sucks 789, but
Well, Jedi Rule 1, 2, 3, 4 was also pretty.
Yeah, the Emperor's most powerful military asset is, let's see, it is a black hole generator. So it like pulls in the matter from its surroundings and is able to crush it down and shoot it out. And it flies out and hits into the center of a planet and just generates a black hole and just envelops an entire star system.
Dangerous.
sexy.
Anyway, let's play
Yep.
the mission.
Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Well, the Emperor is concerned about a sovereign rival galactic power that was once a vassal state of the human empire, located in the lawless Outer Rim. Ooh, I love the lawless Outer Rim. It's not a place I'm from, unfortunately, though. And our talents are needed because of a dangerous environmental hazard. Okay, great. Well, yeah, but let me just give some backstory.
Sure.
And an edict.
So, yeah, well, I'll get to that for sure. So this sovereign rival galactic power that was once a vassal state is actually a time clone of the Emperor himself, but it's just a much lesser state, right? Like not as well.
A younger one,
handled.
less powerful.
Younger, yeah. He's ageless, so this one has some age on him. He hasn't fully grown into his powers. So it's in the lawless Outer Rim. It's a massive Dyson sphere, instead of an actual planet that he is in or on. And the dangerous my hazards is that within the Dyson sphere is actually a triad of collapsing stars.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
So because of this, I'm gonna say that the gravity of the situation actually makes it harder for people to think and to like their brains are just malfunctioning. So cunning, right? Or not sorry, cunning.
Yeah.
Yeah, cunning is at a disadvantage.
Okay.
Yeah. Because you guys are also way too cunning, so we gotta harp on that shit. Yeah. So boom, boom, boom. Edict, and then prophecies. So do you go by just what it looks like on my screen, or are we going by you, Ross?
So I will give a prophecy for 0, 0 to Sunspot, and then Sunspot to me. Okay.
Okay.
So, okay. Okay, so I see a vision of 0 leading a force of immense military power, a huge galactic fleet that comes in and uses the Emperor's black hole generator to blast at this collapsing sun kind of deal, and just it's this most beautiful construction in the universe. It's this pinnacle of power generation and clean energy, and because it is not the Emperor's, 0 destroys it.
It must be destroyed.
Okay. 0.
Okay, 0 sees Sunspot in a pivotal moment in the mission where he has the power to pull the trigger on this weapon and destroy the entire civilization that he sees. But his fear that it's only furthering the Emperor and moving him further away from his own mission of killing the Emperor causes a moment of indecision, and he hesitates.
Hesitates at genocide is a fun one to include as a prophecy.
Hooray! Sunspot is taking his evening meal, and when he finishes, at the bottom of the bowl, there is inscribed a prophecy from the Emperor. And in this prophecy, Grand Admiral Rourke actually it faces this new Emperor in single combat and triumphs in this battle.
Okay.
Love it.
All right, great. So from a preparation standpoint, 0, let's do it.
All right. So 0 wants to harness the power of that black hole generator. He's just going for the direct route, the obvious route, and he wants to go and commandeer it. He needs to get it. So he uses the weight of his presence and the fear that other people have of him. And just marches up, and whoever's holding it, the lowly officer, and just tells him that we're taking this and we need it.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna roll reputation, and that'll succeed.
God damn it!
Okay.
They're supposed to walk up and they're supposed to go, "Who are you?"
Everybody knows who I am. I am everywhere.
True.
So we're gonna get this fitted on the front of the helm of one of these ships, the Armada, and we're gonna take it there.
Cool.
All right.
Black hole generator.
Yeah, I don't know if that fulfills the destiny or.
Yeah, you get destiny for that.
Cool.
Rolling 10 plus generally just does it plus destiny.
Nice.
Yeah. So, because you did this, why don't you take us on travel too?
Okay. So. All right. What is the dangerous part of traveling there?
Yeah. So, the dangerous part of the travel is using the black hole drive when there are collapsing stars is actually going to might supercharge the generator, forcing us beyond light speed and potentially destroying the fleet or the ship as it activates.
Okay. So the way it would be more ideal then to try to get the weapon in position without having to activate it. And so I'm going to also then command through strength of arms that another strike force be assembled, and that we can get this using more traditional means of transportation to get the weapon in place before we activate it. So I'm thinking reputation again.
Vulgar display of power.
Yeah.
Second force. Yeah. Do it.
No, that's really bad.
Ooh, snake.
So,
How much
so
rep you got?
Out of that, it looks like that's going to be a fail.
I got 4 destiny I can burn, and plus 1.
That gets you to a 6.
Plus 1 reputation. Plus 1 reputation.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do that.
Just
Burn it all.
I gotta deplete your resources. You were doing way too good lately.
Get him. All right. Do we travel again and keep going? Oh, you suffer a wound. Do we travel again, or do we fall into an ambush?
2.
We fall into an ambush.
All right. Mission.
All right.
Who fights the way out of the ambush?
Sunspot, fight us the way out.
Yeah, sure. Combat's a thing I know how to do.
Duh.
Sunspot, in his galumphing metal exoskeleton that he has to wear now, elects to basically overtake several Death Guard, some of the elite troopers of the fleet, and use that to essentially crash through and defeat these new troopers that are possibly stopping us from getting to our destination. Basically, they've jumped in and boarded us before we can enter the Dyson sphere. And so, we'll see what his combat skills amount to. Here's a hint, kids: not a lot.
Would you say that you're afraid of this situation?
No, I fear nothing.
He never said he was afraid. He's too much machine. He's more machine than man at this point.
It's about a 50.
Sorry, had to do it.
No, it's fine. You're good.
Had to wrap.
All right,
go ahead, Matt. Roll that.
Oh no!
Yes.
Shut up! No.
Yes.
Oh.
That's bad.
Oh, I have no destiny left. Oh, I should have.
You go out in a blaze of glory, suffer 10 wounds, and then each other agent, including the mission leader, suffers a wound.
I also go out.
So do I.
You're the mission leader. Mission's a failure.
Yep. Right.
Scrubbed, baby.
I thought we had to elect a new one immediately, and it would be you because everyone else is dead. Literally.
If there's only one left, then it's still a failure. You can't have one. No, so mission fails.
Okay. Mission fails. So I have to face the Emperor.
Yeah. This is a failed mission, so you face the Emperor. Okay. Yeah. Describe how you go about avoiding a painful death on the Imperial homeworld. The Emperor pulls you in and summons you as this independent kingdom, so to speak, this independent planet of the Emperor's clone, located out in the outer rim, far away from his reach, was not able to be subjugated by you and is now in open rebellion. How do you get out of this one?
Well, one, it's not an open rebellion for long because he sends he sends a tectonic fleet of nukes to destroy the whole Dyson sphere, collapsing it all into the stars, the collapsing stars itself, and destroys his own time clone because paradoxes cannot persist. However, because I failed, what I really failed at, and when I come and I bow in front of him, as I say, Master, I failed you. I failed to deliver your test, or more appropriately, I failed to teach and lead in this examination of all of your other minions, and for that I deeply apologize. And I throw myself at his mercy, and so that I have learned what leadership I need to do. So this is rolling loyalty, right? Which I'm at a -1 for because fuck the Emperor. That's a 7.
Okay, well, you're alive. Yeah, you suffered
Yep.
painful interrogation.
But hold on. I want to have fun with this. I'm actually going to spend my 3 destiny for fun and turn this into a victory for me. I got 3. Yeah, I'm tapped out right now, but
Okay, no, that was worth it. Yeah, so the Emperor is pleased, and in
Yep.
fact, understands your motives and the extenuating circumstances to such a degree that he says, "No, you are a hero of the Emperor, sir, and you are awarded in honors."
damn straight. I delivered the exam. The results just weren't great. They just weren't great. Anyway,
Advanced sorcerer
onward.
award.
Great, new vote. I got mine.
Got one.
All right, Deuce, you ready?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm ready.
I vote for myself.
I vote for the Grand Admiral.
How about for Sunspot?
I vote for the Grand Admiral.
Aha. All right. Actually, gotta get these cards now. Okay. Here we go.
Not dying is really fun in this game, by the way. Mission
Usually,
6.
Here we are. There it is. All right. The Emperor is concerned about a covert military strike. It's just taking a little time. Located in the commerce-rich core worlds. And our unique talents have been called in. We alone can handle this mission because there is a hired assassin or bounty hunter of legendary skill within there. Okay.
Oh, can't wait.
The deep in the core worlds, in the opulent luxury of the upper class and all of the well-to-do, one of the Emperor's servants, loyal servants, a true follower, she relaxes upon this world of luxury, but has made many enemies on her rise to power. And the rebels of the universe, who have been getting steadily more aggressive for some reason, and more organized for some reason, have now been able to pull together a secret assassination attempt on her life. This assassin is an android, a cybernetic organism that is partially machine and partially a sentient serpent-like race, and moves in and is already on the planet, or is moving in on the planet. We know that this assassin is en route to the planet to make this assassination attempt. And because this is such a high-profile target, the Emperor really doesn't want to make a big scene about things. Loyalty has an edict, because loyalty is usually like bringing to bear huge amounts of military power.
Sounds good.
All right. So prophecy, it would go 0 makes a prophecy about Sunspot. Sunspot to Mao, Mao to 0.
Okay. I prophesize, or I see a vision of Sunspot actually being the target of the assassin and taking a bullet in the head.
Ooh,
Harsh.
I'd allow it.
I see this Emperor's gaze smiles upon me, and I see a vision of Lord Mao being forced to bombard a commercial district in hopes of destroying the assassin.
Okay. I see Zero. Oh, so I got to do mine.
Yeah.
I see Zero disappointed, head in hand, or head in palm, I guess, face palming, as he has sent out his lower inquisitors to go find this covert enemy, and them all failing him.
Fabulous. Fabulous. All right, let's go with Sunspot. Prepare and pull together some resources to help the team.
Sunspot, through their various contacts, will go ahead and attempt to procure a device which disrupts cybernetic implants.
Great.
And so, if we do this and we are able to set it up properly, we can disrupt this creature before it attempts to assassinate the loyal servant of the
This is
Emperor.
highly experimental and held within the deep vaults of the Imperial necroscientists. How do you get it out of their hands?
Oh, I've had a couple contacts in the necroscience division for quite some time. It's just a simple matter of taking control of one of them and walking out with it. So, I believe that will be a cunning roll.
Okay.
Close enough.
Yep, you got a 9. You must choose to either take. So you get this. You walk out with this cybernetic disruption device.
Mhm.
Now, when you walk out, you take way too long to do this, and the necroscientists hold you up and go through just hours and hours of Byzantine procedural hurdles that slow you down, and you know that clock is ticking because this assassin is on their way. So does this mean that you strike late and another edict crops up, or does this mean that you rush through, get sloppy, and then have to fight through an ambush? One of you fight
I
through an
believe.
ambush.
No, I believe it does crop another edict up in this case.
Okay.
And we're going to go ahead and say it's an edict against
Oh, yeah,
cunning. Unfortunately, we have no time where we
Time
lose
to
time
think.
for subtlety. Yep, no time to think.
Don't think twice, think fast. So,
Mhm.
and then I'm going to go with Mal, Sorcerer Lord Mal. Why don't you travel there? And the issue is with this traveling is that because this is such a world full of soft palmed upper elite crust, the mere sight of these Imperial agents is going to cause panic, and we need to avoid that. So, how do we travel in such a way that we don't cause trouble?
The best way to not cause trouble with these soft palmed merchants is to have to literally, I'm going to say, throw gold at the problem. We're going to announce ahead of time an imperial march to the planet. We're going to pull out all the stops and have this massive military parade and circle the planet with all of these ships, basically just saying this market is protected. This place is not going to be this place is going to be locked down and not targeted by any sort of covert military strikes because there's such a high presence of Imperial forces here. So I'm just going for a vulgar display of power.
Sounds good.
in this instance. Okay, right. 7.
All right, you do it, and that
Mhm.
pacifies the populace, but only so much. Do you need to travel again, or do you fall into an ambush?
I say we fall into an ambush.
Okay, you suffer 1 wound,
Yep.
and then yes, High Inquisitor 0
Mission leader.
way out of this. You're going through, and this assassin is able to corner you into a dark alley and crawls up the side of a brick wall. This creature is like, it's kind of like segmented sections of steel held together with a long strand of spinal cord, and it moves around, and it functions like a steel snake trying to wrap itself around your throat and break your neck through constriction.
Okay. So, High Inquisitor 0 has a network of spies. They're actually duplicates of himself, and he's able to transmit his consciousness from body to body. And he calls them all in. He spreads himself very thin, getting them all into this one place in order to confuse, but also overwhelm the assassin. So he's making sure he's not quite sure who is whom. And there's just like this rush of dozens and dozens of inquisitors
Cool.
coming to our defense.
Let's see some combat.
We roll combat.
Shit.
So yeah, that's unmodified. That's a 9.
Mm-hmm. So you win the battle, but an agent,
The fight.
you're given an agent of your choice, suffer a wound.
Yeah.
So
the fight is rough.
Because
You take a wound, and the
because
other agent takes a wound who comes in to help you.
because I spread myself so very thin and putting my awareness into all of my clones and my little minions, and they all get destroyed in the midst of this, fulfilling my prophecy. That damages me in the place where it hurts the most, which is my ethereal psyche. And I also choose the Sorcerer Lord, who was there.
Yes, there we go.
Are you saying that I come in and save your ass?
No, you just you were caught in the middle of this, and as this assassin destroyed a whole bunch of other, beings around you, and you were just caught in the collateral damage of it all.
Okay, just checking.
The
I just wanted to hold it over you if I could.
During the fight, the assassin breaks off of High Inquisitor 0, finds a small opening in the brickwork of the wall, and crawls through it. Its envenomed fangs dripping. It's on a now foot race through the city as the assassin is squeezing through small little passageways and crawling around trying to hunt down the governor of this planet. We're going to go with... Yes. We'll go with 0 again. How do you stop it?
Okay. So I'm going to attempt. I would like to try to infiltrate the computer system in this place and effectively stun the assassin by, opening all the doors, turning all the lights on, just klaxons flaring, just utter confusion through just this overwhelming the resources of this building that I have at my disposal. So I'd like to infiltrate the building and sort of just shock it with reputation.
Sure. I would say this is more like cunning.
Yeah, that sounds
Okay.
right.
This is definitely a cunning roll.
Yeah.
Which is at disadvantage.
Yes.
It is.
But
I also have a plus.
Definitely you get to use your career into this.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 5.
5.
And that results in 8, so it succeeds.
Yeah, your career, and then the device from prepare would definitely be applicable.
Cool.
So that's a 9?
Yeah, so that's a 9, yeah.
Oh, wait, so you rolled 5.
I rolled 5. I have 2 cunning.
That brings it to 7.
Yes.
Yep, plus a device. Yep.
Okay, great. Cool.
And
Wait.
infiltrator. Yeah, that's a 9.
The mission.
So we succeed.
Hold it. Yeah.
The mission
Yeah,
was
go ahead.
a success. You take 1 wound from the exertion of getting you through dealing with all of this and all of the unwanted attention that is drawn onto your operations.
Sorry, can I bump that up with a destiny? Is that possible now?
Yeah.
Can I bump that up to 10? I don't want you to advance, so I'm going to do that.
See, I don't want you to spend the destiny because that hurts me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. All right.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
The task is
I mean-
completed flawlessly, and you gain destiny off of that.
Sweet.
There you
The
go.
operation is complete. Each agent that has not been knocked out, so that's all of us, draws an honors card, then start a new mission.
Okay. Was this mission 7 now? If I'm keeping track of everything.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wow,
Cool.
we're just turning through. Cool. Yeah, okay, I know who I want.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
Mhm.
Brendan?
I'm voting for me.
Okay. I'm voting for
I'm voting 0.
I also vote 0.
Oh, all right, it's 0.
So say we all.
Yeah. Yeah, so say we all.
All right. So the Emperor is concerned about a legendary rogue Imperial agent located in the pollution-choked core worlds. And our unique abilities are called for because of experimental new technology wielded by our enemies. So this legendary rogue agent is a former, let's call him champion of the rank and file infantry, who rose to prominence just through many won battles and displays of valor on the battlefield. And the closer he got to the Emperor's inner circle, the more disillusioned he became, and eventually defected and disappeared. And no one had seen him since until he returned recently bearing this type of phase inversion drive that causes his fighter pilot ship to come and move in and out of this plane of space and time. And so it makes it really hard for him to track and to be tracked and to be fought.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. And what edict?
All right. Edict will be combat because this is such a difficult challenge that way. All right, prophecy.
Yeah, so prophecy will be. So I will give a prophecy about Sunspot to Mao, Mao to myself. Right, Sunspot. I see a vision. You in a fighter jet going dogfighting with this elite pilot, and you can actually you guys go so close, zipping by past each other as it phases in and out of time, that you're able to see into the cockpit, and you see that it is a beautiful human, blonde hair cascading out of her flight helmet. And you see that this is not only a human, but someone of stunning beauty, and then it enrages you, and you know that it's going to feel so good to destroy this thing. So you turn because you, as a superior being, oh wait, are you human?
That's debatable at this point, but yes.
You, as a superior being, know that this must be crushed. You whip around your fighter in a 180-degree turn, hairpin turn, and blast this rogue agent, out of the sky.
Sunspot is in meditation when the prayer of his cult changes, and he recognizes that it is yet again another prophecy of the Emperor. In this prophecy, Mao is forced to choose whether or not he will assist this rogue agent in their objective, or whether he will do what is good for the Empire.
Cool. Can't hear you, Anthony.
Yeah, you're muted, man.
There you go. No. Deuce, can't hear you.
Deuce, you muted.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
so
Trying to fix it. We'll give it a moment.
yeah, I think he's still on. I think he can probably still hear us from what I'm saying.
Probably.
I can see you. I can't hear you.
Oh, I'm hearing movement now.
Probably gonna have to turn off my my video soon because it's killing my battery.
Okay.
That's why.
Oh, brutal. Okay.
Yeah, do what you got to.
Anyway, so after this, I'm just gonna kill my audio or my video. So this legendary defector, right? It turns out he's actually they actually are a mentor of Grand Admiral Rourke from years on past. And they always shared a fondness for scotch. So there's this like weird ethereal scene that Mao sees of them sharing a drink at the end of this, like after the mission is complete.
Cool.
Mm.
Okay.
All right. So, let's see. Rourke, since you know this agent, what are you going to do to get an advantage in the upcoming battle?
Well, I'm going to track down the counterintelligence wing of the Empire, which was developing an experimental device to be able to unphase the ship. This was, of course, not known, as the left hand never knew what the right hand was doing, and so this is a little bit of a problem, as it's hush hush and very, very, very few people know that it was supposed to be there, and deny its existence in any way. But Rourke strolls in, slams his fist down on the table of the office, the front office to this research station that we stop at, and with his medals bristling off of his chest, points to them and uses his military rank and imposing figure to demand that he be given access to these experimental new technologies. So I am going to roll reputation.
Okay.
And I got a 10. Wow, they really liked that. And not only do I get that anti-phasing beacon, but I get Destiny for it.
Destiny.
All right. So how the reason why finding this agent is so tricky is because the pollutant show core worlds are one of the biggest sectors in the Empire, and with the phased inversion technology, nobody really quite knows exactly where the agent is. So, Sunspot, how are you going to find the agent so you can track them down and get there?
Well, funny enough, one of my sources has been working on a tachyon tracker. And so if we can track the pulses that they are emitting when they phase in and out of space-time, then we can find predict where they're going to be and trap them. That feels pretty cunning to me, doesn't it?
Sure.
Sure, yeah.
An 8. It's close. It's good.
Yeah. Okay, so you're able to cast this net of tachyon fields around this entire sector, and even though the agent keeps moving, but you're able to sort of triangulate maybe a possible trajectory for it. However, there's a complication, so you must either choose to travel again or the enemy strikes in your moment of weakness while you're still trying to pinpoint his location.
Yeah, we definitely were able to track them, but unfortunately, it's possible that they already learned about the weakness of basically the tachyon emissions, and so they were expecting us to be waiting for them, and so they managed to create a false signature for us to follow. And when we were tracking that, that's when they ambushed us.
They ambushed us. Okay, cool. So you also suffer a wound.
Yeah.
7 to 9 on this, you always suffer a wound.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did.
All right. So somebody's going to be rolling combat, but there's an edict against, and I think that person is the sorcerer lord now.
And you got to
All right, that's
edict.
Yep, that's fine. I got that. I can do this. I got a +1.
Seems good.
What do you do?
So yeah. So Sunspot's tachyon net catches them all, brings them all to one place. But we didn't know that part of this phasia version drive and this new tech was it actually creates them all into this big ass gigantic mega ship, right? So they are just firing down us. So the only thing I can think of doing is taking all of our ships and just ramming all of our ships into that that massive new structure to just destroy it, right? So just overwhelming brute force of just drives it full, like opening the jets and just going straight at it.
Cool.
And so I'm sitting there on the deck, seeing all this happen. I call the order in, and the skulls on my turban just start to rattle and shake because they're scared or excited. It's hard to know. So that'll give me a total of a +2, but we'll just roll the 3d6 here. So I got an 8 + 2, so that's a 10.
Okay,
so this
cool.
happens.
Actually, the low. You dropped the high die, so that goes down to a 6.
Oh, sorry, 6 and so an 8. Sorry, you're right. Nope, I got that wrong.
Okay.
So 8. So it happens.
So you win the battle, but you and an agent of your choice suffer a wound. Also, because you mentioned fear, I'm going to play this card. You may discard this card to betray an agent when an agent confronts one of their fears.
I will also betray as an agent.
I didn't say it was one of my fears. I said it was fear or excitement.
And when that's done, I will also betray because the agent prefers something beautiful.
The rare triple betrayal.
Well, fine.
Okay.
I'm just going to betray myself then too. At the end of this. Go ahead, B.
So, yeah, I'm gonna suffer 2 wounds because I want to do this, and I'm gonna open up like one of my veins of like just viscous red ichor that's connecting my plates, and it's just gonna spray out. But I'm gonna have an insight on how to actually pinpoint you down in the midst of this chaos and go for your throat.
That's fine.
So yeah, that passes.
Ouch.
So I advance, I gain +1. I'm going to make that and it's fitting. I'm going to make this combat. And you suffer 2 wounds.
So I'm knocked out?
Yeah. And then I acquire...
the mission by the time this is over.
Yeah. I suffer a immediate fear, dread, or superstition, and that is... that I will get trapped inside of the computer network of the Empire and not be able to escape it.
Oh, the Matrix! The Matrix!
All right, so we got a couple other things going on.
Yeah.
Yep. So
That was first, I think, or was it not first?
I got this. So my betrayal is essentially as this is happening, I literally just rudely fly in and just quick transmission. You serve the Emperor above all others, and then I just fire into the back of your ship.
It's all right. I chose assisting them or being loyal, and I was loyal.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Ooh.
Oh
You got any destiny?
no! Oh,
Two.
I don't think so.
Did you use your career?
Oh, wait, hold on. Am I a career? No prophecy here. No prophecy to help out here. Yeah,
He
no.
has
This
no
is,
career.
It just flat fails.
You
Sometimes
may only face the Emperor.
Betrayal is found
Two
by
rank.
the Emperor, so that is not a successful betrayal. And you are dragged back to the Imperial homeworld, where you must explain yourself. How dare you strike at an ancient emperor? Never before
Uh,
have you seen such things.
yeah. Oh no, it was he's just indignant. It was a rank and utter waste of imperial resources in pursuit of a fruitless endeavor, where we could instead subvert the stage rather than attempt to
Are you showing
destroy them.
defiance and willingness to prove the emperor wrong?
Absolutely, in this case, why not? You know, we've been beaten, bruised, and battered. Might as well just go for the full gamut.
That has an edict.
Where?
Yeah, no, we'll do it. Why not? Let's roll big. Go big or
You're
go
gonna
home.
die, son.
Oh
You're
yeah,
gonna
no,
die.
totally. He longs for
Dude.
death at this point,
Okay,
Eight.
so
and he is
that's
not
8.
granted it.
That is an 8.
He longs for sweet death, and it is
Yeah,
denied.
You
Yeah.
take 3 ruins from a grueling interrogation. I guess we know who's going to finish the operation.
Ugh.
And so then my betrayal is after the firefight, I'm going to steal both technologies for the phasing and for the phase detection, and I'm going to hand them over to the rebels. Yes. Okay. And I will spend. Yeah, I'll keep my destiny. I'll just take a wound.
Okay.
And so then make contact with enemy military and political leaders. And how do I assuage their misgivings? Well, I show them this new technology that I've just stolen and our new fleet of undetectable fighters.
Ooh.
All right. And then operation, I guess that's me.
That's gotta be you.
Gotta be me. So how we do this is how this mission actually ends is okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, so on my honors card, I get a new special ability, Inner Circle. When I vote, it counts for 2, and then
Okay.
I have to describe what about the emperor or empire disgusts me, and that it's complete mistreatment of all of the alien races and how that goes to weaken our strength as a whole.
Also, Sunspot did have to disgrace himself, and I'm pretty sure he did that in his cussing out of the Emperor at some point. So,
Anyway, so this
That's
operation,
fair.
I make a secret transmission to the rogue Imperial agent, and I talk about our old times and how the learner has returned to the master, and we should negotiate over a scotch. And as we're drinking it, one of the scotches, in fact both, are laced with iocane powder. So I'm going to do
Who
cunning.
could be
Wait,
resistant to
iocane
it?
or space iocane?
This
have
is
to
so
tell us.
conceivable.
To poison my old mentor. Yep, got it.
Nailed it.
Test clean flawlessly. I gain destiny, and Brendan, you and I gain an honors card.
Sweet.
Yep.
All right. Anybody have anything else they have to do off of this?
No.
All right.
Mission 7, where everyone tried to kill me and succeeded.
Pretty much.
Well, we knocked you out. We didn't kill you,
I
unfortunately.
mean, that was my whole
No, I
goal
know,
for
I
this
know.
game. So
No. I know, but I was waiting for one of those card falls, like one of those torrents.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what we were talking about earlier. Okay. I know who I'm voting for on this one.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah,
Ross, you good?
Okay.
I'm voting for Mal.
Moving for Sunspot.
I vote for myself as well.
I'll go with Sunspot.
That's good. It's not like I'm getting anywhere fast. So. All right. So the Emperor is concerned about violent proletariat unrest that has devolved into anarchy. Oh, boy, we're getting into this now. I love it. And it is located in the desolate Outer Rim. And the unique talents are called for in this matter due to the presence of doppelganger assassins. Hell yeah. So in this particular situation, the intergalactic Brotherhood of Starship Maintenance Technicians have elected to stop repairing ships until their demands are met. This has stopped traffic in the Outer Rim, which is vital to the economy of the Empire. It's absolutely imperative that this happens. The Brotherhood has enlisted an order of shape-shifting doppelganger assassins to assist them. They've been able to hire them. And so it just flat out trying to infiltrate the Brotherhood, trying to stop them has been difficult for your bog standard Imperial agent. And so because of this, cunning is going to be at the premium here. Because you don't know who to trust. Prophecies.
Yeah. So then my order's all out. So why don't we do? I will do the prophecy of.
Leave your prophesying for. You're going to be prophesying for Zero.
There we
Zero prophesizes for Mao. Mao prophesizes to you.
Okay. Yeah. So Zero is. Let me go later. I need to think about some things.
Okay, Zero, why don't you hit it up?
Sure. So I see Mal just in the midst of this mob of doppelgangers and others that they've just whipped up into a frenzy, tearing Mal limb from limb into pieces.
Wow.
Okay. Okay. Mao being torn up. Okay, got it. All right, so I have the Grand Admiral. I have the entire ship's crew. The bridge's crew on the Admiral's ship as we are going to this planet, actually being the doppelganger assassins and revealing themselves, and all 14 of them stabbing Grand Admiral Rourke at once.
Oh, we're just not even going for salty anymore at this point, kids.
Brutus.
Death must happen. Seriously, we haven't been killed by the Emperor. This is weird.
I see a vision of Zero in the middle of the proletariat crowd, and they have him grabbed by his limbs, and they start pulling slowly, just popping out some of his joints, and then he screams at them, slightly muffled from his smooth black helmet, how they're all proletariat scum, and nothing they can do will ever change the fact that he's better than them.
Okay. Grand Admiral, would you like to prepare the way for us?
Not really.
Well, too bad.
So
You had
what
Emperor
we're
wills
going
it.
to do is seek out a native of this planet who we are going to grab a hold of and coerce to be our personal guide and to let us into the ins and outs of this festering hellhole while we're performing our dastardly deeds. And the way that we do that is once we captured him, we just use the fear of we trump up charges on this small street urchin, a child of no more than 8, and we trump up charges and then also capture his family and then have his family tortured in front of him, using that fear to say, okay, if you're either going to help us infiltrate into this planet and achieve our mission, or bad things are going to happen to those you love. So that'll be a reputation.
Good.
And yep, got it.
Perfect. And in your victory, you did incriminate the innocent, which means I can betray you.
Ah, son of a bitch.
I've been waiting for this for forever. Oh, this is fantastic. So yes, I will go ahead and do that and go ahead and up a little bit of my skills. So in this betrayal, what I do is, as you are trumping up these charges, working this up, I manage to implant evidence that you have been agitating the Brotherhood to go on this general strike. And so, for what reason, I don't know. I'm still investigating on my end. But once we find out, I'm certain we'll deal with you. Let's see. Betrayal.
Ooh.
I'm just not allowed to do nice things. I've
It's gonna be
decided at this point. No, I'm not allowed to have destiny either. That's just the way this game goes. That's fine. It's I'm all right with being the butt monkey of the Empire here. So yeah, no, that's that
So
happens.
you immediately face the Emperor.
Yeah, we'll go face the
Yes.
Emperor.
Yes.
Let me go. Let me
Let's do
go.
that.
Sufficiently. I am sorry, glorious and gracious Emperor. I felt that this was the best course of action. I was sure that Rourke was attempting to cover up some of his own crimes in doing this, and I will make sure to focus my efforts on those disloyal to the Empire and never those in your direct service ever again, my dear benevolent Emperor. And so we'll go ahead and test that loyalty.
Right.
Throw it up.
Oh.
Big money.
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and take my honors as I grovel before the Emperor and probably am forced to read at the next service that he holds.
Oh, you got loyalty +3? That's crazy.
I just got it.
Nice. Cool. Grab yourself.
All right. Yep, doing it right now, and gonna kind of slink away here.
All right.
Okay, everybody's happy. Fortunately, now we have our inn. So, Lord Mao, how do we get there?
Ooh, to this desolate outer rim planet with all the violent proletariat?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to... I'm going to play this up for fun because it's the first thing that popped into my head, even though it doesn't really match well with my own talents. We're going to all, I'm going to kind of demand that we all give up our whatchamacallit there, the icons of power, not our raiment, but like the medals and things like that. And we are going to travel as paupers, and we're going to show up to this desolate outer rim planet as basic and outdated looking as we possibly could. Like hundreds of years old uniforms we're going to switch out, and just look like paupers, so that the violent proletariat doesn't look at us and hate us for our nice clothing and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
and I'm going to approach them diplomatically, open a channel, and just with all four arms, like clasped in like a prayer formation, and my my turban battered, like my oldest robe that I used for my or oldest cloth used for my turban, and just to show up as a diplomat.
All right.
To get them there, and to allow them to meet us, right? To come to them and just approach that first thing and meet up. So unfortunately, I have a minus to loyalty, but we'll just see what happens. Oh,
Sure.
fuck.
Let's go.
That's a 6.
That's perfect. Oh, that is so
Destiny?
perfect. You have failed using loyalty.
Destiny?
Yeah. I have
Destiny?
1 point of destiny, so I'm gonna play that. So it's
Okay,
gonna be a 7.
because you use Destiny, I'm gonna betray you.
Oh! Well, if this betrayal works, it's the game.
Yeah. So
I know. I know. All right. So whatever. So I'm going to push you into ambush because they're just going to call us on our bullshit. So let's go for that, and then start betraying me.
Yeah. Basically, they're just gonna be, who the fuck are you? We don't know who you are. Like you've taken all of your, anything recognizable about who you might even be, and they just don't believe you and shoot you down on sight. And I take a wound doing so, and I'm gonna roll 3d6 for this with my blood sorcery. And at my
That's a
destiny
4.
to succeed.
That's a success. All right, tell us.
Take the highest.
That's
Oh,
the
sorry.
final advancement of your secret agenda. You have won the game, and tell us how the galaxy is forever changed.
So, so my goal was to find the Sorcerer Lord and to work my way through the sinistery of the galaxy and convince them to give the Sorcerer Lord up, and then eventually find their location and strike them down in an epic duel. So what I've done instead is infiltrate all of the galaxy's computer systems and just keep scouring while everybody was working on missions. I had my consciousness in other places, hunting down the Sorcerer Lord until I find them and
Which is me. Cool.
Yeah. Confront you and betray you in this moment of weakness, in a moment of distraction, because I know all and I see all, basically.
Fair.
And so I have to answer the question, what lurks in the hidden central core of each galaxy? And that hidden central core is an awareness that I only discover when I spread my mind out so far that I can see the entire galaxy at once. And this dread superstition that I had that I would subsume myself into the matrix, I just accept and I let myself go into this other plane of awareness.
Cool. All right, cool. Then that is how the universe goes forth into all of time. Thanks everyone for playing. That was a really fun game. Congratulations, Brendan, for kicking my ass.
Good job.
Thank you.
All right.
Kicking Deuce's ass, really. That was my goal.
Yeah, really. I felt like I was the betrayal marker, but that's fine.
It worked out. Anyway,
Yeah.
thanks all.
Cool.